are the least processed sweeteners that you can find, and definitely the most local. So whenever you're looking at global versus local and the impact it has on your health, but also on the environment.
Over your website several times it talks about the secret of raw honey, and it's sweeter, it's less calories. So can you tell us more about raw honey and help us fall in love with it?
Yeah, raw honey, it's been used for thousands of years as a natural sweetener. It's one of the most, or the least processed sweeteners that you can find, and definitely the most local. So whenever you're looking at global versus local and the impact it has on your health, but also on the environment, local just has a smaller emission footprint. Trace vitamins, minerals, enzymes that other sugars such as cane sugar don't have. It also has a different makeup, so it has a bit of a lower glycemic index. A lot of our diabetic customers and fans say they don't really notice a difference in raw honey versus sugar, but it is a little bit lower on the glycemic index, and there are less calories per serving for honey. And pollinators as a whole, some can make a case that, honeybees, especially Apis mellifera, the honeybee that we know and love, isn't really indigenous to the U.S. It's been brought in, but pollinators as a whole, they do so much incredible. They have an incredible footprint. They're even small pollinators, cocoa midges, that make cocoa possible. Blueberries, almonds, a lot of fruit. Most of the nuts that we consume makes up a very large portion of our economy.
So for the average consumer, and this might be too deep into a different direction, it's a little bit out of the direction of chocolate, but what can the average consumer do to help with the decreasing supply of cocoa and the decline of honeybees worldwide? Is there something that the average person can do to help these situations, or is it more on a different level?
So for cocoa, you can purchase companies that are more transparent about who they're buying from and who is receiving the money and at what cost. So we purchase cocoa from origins such as Haiti, Peru, Colombia, Belize, and these specific central fermentaries support small family farmers. 90% of cocoa grown throughout the world is from 2 hectares or less, small family farms. And these small family farms, they take their cocoa to a central fermentary most of the time. And when they do that, they get paid what's called the farm gate price. It's what the farmers receive in return for their cocoa. And that is very important. That number lets you know, how impoverished of a country, or how impoverished your cocoa farmer is due to the buying power that either the central fermentary or these larger companies have, or B, how supportive your maker is of these farmers. So fair trade is great. It's a certification that ensures that farmers are paid a fair wage, but it's not always the truth. So you need to know the farm gate price, and that's really hard to find. You have to reach out to makers if it's not published, and a lot of the time they will share that, especially in the bean to bar world where you have more control over the supply chain. In terms of honeybees, this is more of an issue with controlling and understanding colony collapse disorder and the impacts that honeybees have on our economy. It's massive. The number escapes me how big of an impact that honeybees have. I'm fairly certain it's in the billions, but the best we can do from a consumer standpoint is support those who are having good practices towards honeybees. But really, a lot of the change in that industry has to come from above, from the larger companies who could be having negative effects through. There's a lot of press on neonicotinoids, so a pesticide that's used, and it negatively affects honeybees. Also, an issue with varroa mites. They're mites that cause colony collapse disorder, just completely ravage the hive. So yeah, there could be a lot more work from the consumer standpoint in trying to innovate, trying to find more solutions. So there are some mycologists who have some fascinating work on trying to make these honeybees just a little bit more strong, and trying to find a way to make these varroa mites a little less impervious.
I hope I'm not pushing you too hard in any directions here.
No. And I hope that some of that's helpful.
A lot of it's helpful. I mean, to me, the beautiful thing so often is people want to be knowledgeable and aware. And I just don't think from a what can I do today point of view, people have any idea what they can be doing. And just like for me, and sometimes I don't realize what a simple life I live sometimes when I don't check the ingredient list enough. And so the fact that you brought it up like 3 times really tells me, wow, I should be checking my ingredient list more. And so many things that you're bringing up, I think as a consumer, just being aware of what I should be aware of is such a great first. As simple as it sounds, is how many of us, I love the quote, live lives of death, of just live a numb life. And so you as a person and your brand is really a great reminder of how much more conscious we can be and making choices that are more conscious toward the life we want to live in, the world we want to live in. And the coolest part for me about that is it's wrapped in delicious chocolate. Mm-hmm. And so it's a great message, but it's also delicious.